Hey, welcome to your practice, everybody. I'm here to just explore practice. I guess this is it, right? To almost have the fit and look and feel that I really have. I have to build into practice by sharing and just starting. So here it is at many requests to share online. I am now starting and seeing where this shifts us all as a collective. When you move with me in practice, we're shifting energy together. So I am focusing on going inwards. So a lot of the postures are about forward folding. A lot of it, eventually, you'll feel this sense of just having your brain rest right in the skull, and you'll see what I mean when we move together. So let's come into a comfortable seat. You're going to need 2 blocks if you use props for your practice. And then come into a comfortable seat. Let's begin meditation to ground ourselves. Just begin to ground and focus on your breathing. Allow the shoulders to relax. Allow the elbows to relax at the sides. And you can decide either palms facing down for grounding, or if you feel like you needed your energy and vibration to rise, then you can allow the palms to face up. And then we allow the natural sounds around us to simply be a part of this dance in focus on breath. Through this meditation, we ground as we breathe from the root to the crown of the head, and on the exhalation from the crown to the root. And we let go of having this perfect soundless practice where we don't get distractions, but we get to teach ourselves how to focus on breath and in this present moment now with everything moving around us. And you hear the noises and you come back to your breath and you observe, how is my breath moving in my body? From root to crown, from the base of my sit bones to the crown of my head, and then from the crown of my head down back to my sit bones. And you feel yourself completely enter into your body. You drop your head to the heart in the next exhalation. And just allow yourself to receive the wisdom that will flow from this practice. Connecting your hands towards your heart space as you set intention. And you know that for this time together, I don't know how long we're going to be. I'll only know towards the end that we're here to connect together as one, moving as one full energetic unit. So key things to note for this practice is constant pressing, constant focus on your breath in and out through the nostrils, but from the base of your throat. You can go down to one of my practices where I speak about Ujjayi breath and how to connect to that. So you can just go back in time to do that. But if you're continuing, you want to feel the breath right from the base of your throat. So I love what one teacher told me, that you want to envision as if your breath or your nostrils are right at the base of your throat. So you want to keep focusing on that. And through this practice, because there's going to be a lot of opening through the body, you want to be able to ground. So all this time pressing onto the floor, lots of pressing. So I invite you now to come into crocodile pose. You're going to set your 2 blocks to the side. Crocodile pose, you on your belly. And as you lay down onto your belly, okay, so what I'm going to try to do with this mic is I'm going to raise myself a little bit higher, just because when I try putting it on the side, it's like cranky sounds out here. So you want to open up your legs almost like as wide as you can. Actually, let's start off. You want to open your legs just outside of your mat, the toes facing out to the side, and then your pelvis and your thighs pressing down. And I want you to find as much external rotation. So from this frame with your feet just stepped outside of your mat, I want you to almost like lift the right hip and then take the inner part of the hip down, and then do the same thing with the left side, so that you're really beginning to open up the hips into the inner thighs. And then with crocodile, you rest your head down onto the ground. Now I'm going to be a little bit higher just because of this mic by my chest. You want the inner arches to rest down. And then you want to come to awareness of your breathing. Try not to control the breath, but what you're doing here is just reminding yourself of connecting to breath. And then I want you to start filling up space. So naturally, you'll start to expand upon your breath as you breathe in. You take up space in your body, and then the exhalation moves you back to your center on the contraction. And you just keep doing that. You fill up space, as much space into your body. And you notice the rise and the fall of your breath in your body. And it's almost like as you breathe in, there's a little bit less pressure of you on the ground. And then on the exhalation, there's a lot more pressure of your body on the ground, more contact. Now I want you to open up the legs as wide as you can. So you want to slowly keep feeling, remember that external rotation from the hip, and then the inner arch rest down. And then you want to do the exact same on the other leg. Open the leg as wide as you can. Now I'm going to shift a little bit because of this column. And we use where we are to our advantage. Okay. Ooh, then you give yourself as much space as possible. And you breathe into this new sensation. And you take up more space. So this is the practice, right? The sensations are going to rise. But can you find a neutral space within yourself to focus on the breath and create safety within yourself so that the body opens up? Generally, you need to know that the body only opens up when it feels safe. And at this point, because there's more sensations for me that I'm feeling, I get to allow myself to just breathe a little bit deeper, and I send my breath. I use the heating breath and I send it right down into my hips where we store a lot of information, a lot of emotion. So I'm just going to use some sound. Sound and vibration is so healing for the body. And I'm going to bring my awareness right down to the pelvic bowl, right where my hips are starting to open up just from the inner part. So it's a deep breath in and then a moan, but keep that vibration through the body. If you want to hum the sound, you can. And try not to get into the style of breathing out through your mouth where you expel a lot of energy. Breathe in and out through the nostrils. And whenever you're ready, feel the body just drop onto the floor. Come back to your intention. And then slowly bring the legs closer together. Now, I usually call the embodiment practice an advancing practice for yogis or practitioners, for advancing yogis and practitioners rather, simply because you are advancing on a deeper level from the physical and you want to take your practice so that it's not purely a physical practice anymore. So that's what it means when you come to my class physically. So it's available to any practitioner from beginner to advanced. You get to really deeply feel your body here. Okay, so I'm going to shift just because of space again. And I want to extend my arms out to the side. So here you want to move with as much control as possible. So you're going to extend your arms out to the side. You're going to lift your chest. And then very slowly, okay, so I think I need to move this micro where I'm moving to, and I hope I don't crunch it up at the sound. Okay, so we move to the right side with control. It's a vertebra by vertebra movement where you roll onto the right side of your body. Keep a hand in line with the shoulder, lift that top knee, and then fold at the knee, and then almost like let the leg hang, or alternatively, you can let the foot rest. You decide. I'm feeling so much in this left hip socket. Breathing into that, you want to keep externally rotating at the hip, lift the knee up, and I'm just going to lift my foot off the ground so that I can create more weight and openness into that hip, but make sure that you constantly stay with your breath. And what I love about this stretch is the shoulders and hips. It gets right into the whole body. And then we slowly prepare ourselves vertebra by vertebra, everything with control. This is a training ground here for the body to move as one. And then this is vertebra by vertebra release. Then we rotate over towards the left side. Control, lifting right leg. Floating foot behind the calf as we fold the knee. And then relaxing at the side of the face on the left side. And then feel external rotation. I feel it more in the shoulder now. And then lift that knee pulling down. I'm going to ground it for a little bit. Feel that. So much opening in the body happening right now. And then very slowly with control, I'm going to go back. And I'm going to guide you through the last one. And then the last two you're going to do on your own. So it becomes a slow moving meditation. Roll onto your belly. Roll over to the right side with control, lifting into that top knee. And then you want to almost float the foot and move it away from the calf as much as possible on the right. And then with control, deep breath in, come back to neutral position, resting onto the ground, but vertebra by vertebra. And everything's so engaged, right? So as much as this is a very slow practice, it's very detailed. You allow yourself to feel so much. And then you move to the left, lifting as seamlessly as you can. And even this simple, what might seem simple for me, might be challenging for some, just simply because of body control. I've been practicing like this for a few years now. So I've learned how to trust my body, how to be led by my breath. Now the last two on your own, go in. And you get to hold as long as you want to. And from this frame, intuitively feel what else needs to be added, what the body needs. Remember, breath leads, body follows. It becomes a seamless what do I want to say? It becomes a seamless transition from one part to the next. In deep conversation with breath, mind, and body moving as one. Last one on your own. I'm going to keep quiet now. See, this is what I was avoiding with these online. I want to share so much in the detail. But I still want to give you room to just be in your body. So forgive me, it's going to be some time for me to just practice and just get the hang of giving you as much space from the detail. Let's come back to neutral position when you are done. Now, it's either you have yoga props, you're going to use blocks, you don't have to. Take them right to the front. You're going to tuck your toes. You move as one full energetic unit. If you need your knees, use your knees. Over time, what I will do is break a lot of these things down. So just for now, as we flow, you want to lift the knees, tilt the pelvis, squeeze the arms to the sides, begin to press, lengthen through the neck, engage the core. And then as one full energetic unit, you lift into your down dog. Okay, so let's not use the blocks for now. Just forgot this one part that we have to do first. So coming into your down dog, capital letter A. Some of you who experience quite a bit of hamstring tension, what you're going to do is bend the knees quite a bit and still maintain the capital letter A frame in your body, and then press the chest right back towards your thighs. So with your hands, we've got these handstand hands. I want you to really spread. Looks like this. Really want you to spread your fingers wide across the floor and then push through the heel of the hands, press down and away. And then what you're going to do is a little bit of suctioning between palm and a little bit of suctioning between knuckles, active pressing through the finger pads. Okay, so remember I told you keep pressing, you're going to feel a lot here. Now I want you to get all this energy and send it right into the arm so that now the inner part of your elbows are parallel towards one another. And remember, don't get frustrated if certain body parts that I mention, you just like, this is too much information. Just take one at a time. And what you can do is come practice this for the whole week, right? And then from here, you're working all the way into the upper arms. We tend to place a lot of weight into the shoulders, so that tells us that we're not inviting core and legs into the conversation. So I want you to do that and keep pressing through each adjustment. You keep pressing. And then I want you to rotate the outer armpits in. Give yourself space in the neck. This one for me, still quite a challenge to really just get that opening, but it's a work in progress, right? That's why we're here to practice. Then I want you to lift the hips and then tilt the pelvis. So this is lifting the hips. There's a natural flexion happening into the spine. And then I want you to tilt the pelvis so there's more extension in the spine. Now let the head hang, but still press down onto the ground. Still get the inner elbows parallel. Still get the outer armpits rolling in, and then breathe. Now, because we're working with the forward fold, I want you to keep letting the brain just rest right into the skull. And then allow the tongue to rest at the roof of the mouth and just feel the relaxation in your jaw, which is connected to hips. So more relaxed jaw, more relaxed hips. Remember, at any point in time, you need to come down into child's pose. Please honor that in your body. And I'm just, for demonstration purposes, going to come into it and secretly resting knees. I'm going to come down into it. You're going to get your knees to open wide. That down dog felt so juicy. And then from here, you're going to fold forward. So either hands extend or hands reach towards your feet. And then here, there's an opportunity to enjoy your breath in the stillness, right? So just breathing in deeply, in and out through the nostrils, from the base of your throat, recalibrate. Okay, let's come into down dog. Maybe doing well here. Deep, deep stretches I'm feeling in the body. Okay, remember the hands. You're constantly pressing to the heel of the hands. Elbows, inner part of the elbows in, outer armpits out and in towards the body's midline, towards the front of your body. And then you're going to inhale, rise into your toes. Keep the outer armpits in, plank, breathing in. Now I want you to rise and give as much space between you and the ground. Neck is long. I want you to activate energy in your thighs, press down onto the ground, pull the inner elbows to reach the front of your mat. And then I want you to pull the toes towards your hands as you begin to come down. Minimum 5 breaths takes you flat onto the ground. Keep breathing. Everything with control. And even that could just be your practice, right? Where you're just learning how to move with control. Any form of cobra on the inhalation, opening up through the front body. And then the exhalation, super slow. Hands to the sides. Let's just begin from our knees. Inhale, plank. Lift the knees, down dog. Okay, so the last one on your own, I'm just going to guide you quickly. You're going to come onto your toes from plank, and then you're going to come onto your toes into plank. Minimum 5 breaths takes you flat into the ground, then baby cobra, then back into down dog. You can from plank if you want to challenge yourself as one movement. Let's go together. Super slow. Remember, it's a thread leading you. There's a full connection in your body. Yo. So much going on there. So much power. Okay, so lower the knees down. And I think this is part of the slowing down time of me actually putting stuff online, because the talking and the practicing, the talking whilst I'm practicing requires a lot of energy. It requires a lot of me to just really move here. So that's why we go just simple but really detailed and slow. Okay, so here we're going to do predominantly 5 postures. Within those 5 postures, we're going to repeat cycles, and then we're going to add one last shape. So it's 5 postures that are going to be frequent, and then one last shape, and then we come back down to the ground and we wind off in our practice. Okay, so what's nice about a practice like this is you can do what you can and then come back another time. You can pause it, do something else, come back. You get the gist. So we're going to come back into down dog. Have to mentally prepare myself. Okay, so just know, disclaimer, I always tell people who share practice with me or to my students, that we are going to feel a lot. Okay, we're going to feel a lot in the body. So let's come into down dog. And if you're using the blocks, use the blocks. If not, don't use them. But remember, you are pressing, you are taking the inner elbows in, taking the outer armpits out and forwards, and then breathing. Okay, so here, just step so that your capital letter A is in frame and you're finding your center of gravity. If there's anything I can leave you with, is my first teacher taught me to find your center of gravity, and that's what we're mainly trying to do. So it's such a still and delicate and personal thing. Keep pressing, stay with the breath. Make sure that the core and the legs are part of this conversation. You're going to inhale onto your toes, pyramid, landing energy. So you're going to rise, expansive with the breath, landing foot in or as close in between your blocks as possible. Back foot at about a 45-degree angle so that you can align your hips. And then the first thing you want to do is press. So a lot of pressing. Check alignment. So what you might want to do is just come to standing. Make sure that that back glute is firm so you support the pelvis from twisting. Then I want you to just automatically press front foot away from back foot. Engage the core. Take your right hand onto your hip and then begin to lean forward. Now you decide how far forward I can go really in detail in this practice, but for time saving, let's hold for 5. Let the head drop 4. 2 more. Remember, your work is just to press and focus on the breath, just for today, if anything. Okay, slowly take your hands on the blocks, bend your knees with control, lift, engage, step back. Inhale deeply, rise onto your toes, right leg, half pigeon, knee behind the block or your hands. You want to open up the knee as far wide as you can. You want to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, slide all the way back. And then from here, make sure that the hips are in alignment as much as possible. Then you want to back bend on the inhalation, fold forward on the exhalation. Let the head drop, the brain completely rest on the skull. The tongue rests right at the roof of the mouth. Flexion through the top foot, breathe 5. 4. 3. 2. Hands on blocks or hands down into the ground. Deep breath in and then down dog out with control. Rise onto your toes, runners lunge, right foot around the block, landing. Okay, from here you want to make sure that you aligned into the hips, the front knee stacks above the ankle, front foot pressing away from back foot. And I want you to physically look at your hips, that you're not hip dipping that left hip down towards the ground. You are finding full control. Lengthen through the neck, or actually let's just drop the head down for this one. If you don't come out of alignment, you can rest your forearms down on the block. But if you pull out of alignment, then rather keep your hands on the block. Okay, 5. 4. 3. Keep breathing with me. 2. Physically look at your hips to just check in whilst you're feeling so much sensation that you're still feeling physically aligned and energetically as much as possible. Down dog. Hands on the ground or the block. I'm just going to keep using block. Okay. Okay, so I need to move a little bit back for this one. We're going to come into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. So you want to rise onto your toes, breathe in, right leg still. You're still working just with the right leg. Landing. Try not to use momentum, very little to none. Take your hands on the blocks and kids, keep it into support. Keep that forward fold. And I want you to check physical alignment. So usually what happens here, we tend to really dump that weight into the standing hip socket. So you want to bend the knee ever so slightly. Then I want you to check the hips, that the hips are aligned. The top hip is not opening up. If you see my frame, if you're doing this, you want to keep rolling that hip in and down, or down and in. And then I want you to firm that left glute and then lift the heel. Firm that glute, lift the heel without opening up the hip. And you're feeling so much in that standing leg, but I want you to press both feet away from one another. Breathe. 5. 4. 3. Stay with it. 2. Set your blocks right. Down dog. Try not to rush out of that. Everything with control. How you come in is how you come out. Feeling so much into the hips. Deep breath in, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. You're building warrior strength. So when fatigue begins to hit, which it is for me as well, you want to keep making sure that you check in with pressing, with physical alignment, meeting energetic alignment, and your breath. So here, back foot, 45-degree angle. You want to firm into that back leg. And then check that your knees in line with your front toe. The pelvis wants to rotate constantly, and exactly the same with pyramid. You want to draw your hips towards your body's midline. It doesn't have to be squared off with your mat, right? Then you want to physically press front foot away from back, align the hands in prayer above the head, and then breathe. 5, 4. Keep checking alignment, physical and energetic. Last one. The exhalation, Chaturanga, knees, chest, chin, hanging cobra, or rest into down dog. You decide. That feels so good. So good. Recalibrate. You're in your body. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, rise into your toes. Left foot. Not half pigeon, pyramid. So I will do how-tos. But for now, just press. Feel alignment. The front hip rolls out and back. The back hip rolls out and forwards. Hold 5. Keep pressing front foot away from back foot. Two more. Beautiful, down dog. Such a beautiful stretch. Control, left, back to the shape. Half pigeon, left leg, deep breath in. Step left foot behind or the shin or the knee. Flexion through the foot, sliding right leg as far back as you can. Adjusting your yoga gear. And then open up, back bend. Fold forward on the exhalation. Drop the head. Make sure there's flexion in the top foot. Curl the toes towards the shins. 2 more deep breaths. Can you hear I'm breathing through the nostrils, of which I am, but I'm not pulling as much energy from the base of my throat. So listen to the sound. Sounds like that. Now send it back down to my throat. And immediately feel more energized. Inhale, rise up, back to down dog, slowly. The way you come in is how you come out, with control. Now I'm feeling really open in the body. Deep breath in, rise onto your toes. Left foot, come into your runner's lunge. Knee stacks above the ankle, back leg super active. I want you to feel as if that back heel is pressing into a wall behind you. Some of you will benefit from just resting the one hand onto your lower back and just starting to feel alignment, right? This side I definitely know I'm not going to take my forearms down because I'm going to be whacked right out of alignment, and I'm going to keep it for this one. So I check and I split the legs. I press that front foot away from the back foot, and actually now I feel I can. Now I want to test it out and challenge myself, right? This is the exploration. And then actually this side feels way more open and better than the other side. So you physically look at your hips to check alignment. The breath gets deeper. More fire. Firm that glute to support the pelvis to lift and engage the core. Deep breath into down dog. Take your time. Don't rush it. Sometimes it is at moment like, whoo, oh my goodness. Thank goodness I'm out. Okay, we're going to prepare. I'm just going to move back. Virabhadrasana 3. Take your time. Deep breath in. Left foot lands in between blocks. Little to no momentum. Lifting that back leg up. Keeping into the support of your hands on the floor or the blocks. You decide. But you want to physically look at your hips and check. Stand firm into the left foot. Bend the knee ever so slightly. And then I want you to firm that right glute, lift the heel. Firm that right glute, lift the heel. Feel that burning sensation. Breathe into it. Push that left foot down into the ground. Push that right foot back away from you. Stay breathing. Feel this deep opening and the shaking happening into the body. Remember, because the new neural pathways opening up, all these conversations opening up from the past in your body, now you get to really feel slight burning sensations, absolutely normal. Sharp pains, we want to avoid those and we adjust immediately. And then down dog with control. The talking helps to distract you a little bit. You see, you can hold a little bit longer. Okay. So nice. Rest the knees down onto the ground. Okay, this one. Okay. Okay, rise onto your toes. Virabhadrasana 1. Left foot warrior 1. Landing. Knee stacks above ankle. Think Lego. The more solid your foundation, the more energized the whole shape is. Press front foot away from back. And then reach the gaze, your drishti, towards your thumbs. Reach the arms up. Press front foot away from back. Firm that right glute. Breathe. Keep firming into that grounding foot on the right. Hold for the last 2. My body is shaking. Let it shake. Okay, down dog to chaturanga to down dog. Whatever flow. And I'm just going to rest it into child's pose. Or sitting onto the shins. Okay, well done guys, you're doing very well. So this is just first part. You can either now decide, do you want to continue or do you need to pause into your Shavasana? Make sure wherever you pause, you do Shavasana, please. Okay, so let's flow it more. What I want you to be aware of is full breath in, into the shape, and then the exhalation, you land into the shape. So it becomes a longer breath as you build up your breath work or pranayama practice. You actually can expand your breath a little bit more. But here, you're going to start seeing how I expand upon my breath when I move. So we're going to come into down dog. And then we're going to move it with more of a faster vinyasa. Remember, vinyasa simply means flow, breath in and breath out. Okay. So we're going to alternate this time. Rise onto your toes. Okay. So let me just say quickly, we're going to do the first round. I'm going to be very pedantic about the breath, and then we're going to flow it. I'm just going to name the shape and then you flow it. Okay. Mentally come in, let the head drop right down into the skull. Shake the head if you need to. Come back to intention, definitely. And then let's go. Rise into the toes, right leg. You're going to feel that heat. Pyramid. Inhale, down dog. Inhale, pyramid. Left side. Fold. Inhale, rise back, back bend. Down dog. Right leg, runner's lunge. Inhale onto your toes. Landing. Foot around the block. Open up through the chest if you want to. Down dog. Inhale, prepare. Lift. Ground. Step back. I'm going to walk myself a little bit further back. Deep breath in onto your toes. Left foot. Virabhadrasana 3. Warrior 3. Into your T shape without flying. Just because we're flowing a little bit more doesn't mean you get to lose control of your body. Down dog. Exhale. Lift. Deep breath in, right foot to Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Get used to the terminology. Grounding through that back foot, warrior strength, full alignment, front foot pressing away from back, reaching your gaze towards your thumbs. Perhaps holding a full breath in and out here. So, so delicious. Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Up dog. In. Down dog. Breathing out. This feels so, so good. Okay. Let's do the other side. Rise into your toes. Left foot. Building some heat now. Pyramid. Landing, grounding, full exhalation. Down dog. Inhale, prepare. Down dog. Exhale, ground. Right leg, half pigeon. Go big, take up space. Take your time. Guys, if anybody knows like yoga types that don't slide down, please just slip into my DMs. Back bend in, forward fold out. You know how many edits I need to, you're gonna see now with me putting down up my pants. Okay, I digress. Down dog. Runner's lunge, left side, deep breath in. Down dog. I'm going to move back, rise onto toes, right foot, warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Keep alignment. Down dog. Warrior 1, left foot. Stay for a breath or two. So nice to end off. And then chaturanga. And then rest onto your shins. Okay, so now we go and we flow and the breath is yours. But keep focus. Just because you're moving and it's starting to feel like, oh yeah, still keep control of mind, of breath, in body. Yeah. Down dog. Deep breath. Okay, I said I'm not going to mention the breath.
Right foot pyramid. Now you might go faster than me back to down dog if you want. For those of you who want to hold longer, go for it. Left leg, half pigeon. Down dog, take your time. Right leg, runner's lunge, foot around the block of the hand. Down dog. Left foot, warrior 3. Remember, little to no momentum. Down dog. Warrior 1, right foot. Down dog. Chaturanga if you want to. Ooh. Left foot pyramid. Down dog. Right foot half pigeon. Down dog. Left foot runner's lunge. Remember, take your time. Focus on alignment and breath and pressing. Down dog. Right foot, warrior 3. Take your time, little to no momentum. Strong mind, strong body. Flexible mind, flexible body. Down dog. And we take it home. Left foot, warrior 1. Chaturanga. Okay, so you got to make sure that, okay, you can, before I say that, before I continue, take your blocks away if you have. So we're going to come from down dog, and you want to be able to face the screen so that your bum is not facing the screen. So I'm going to take my left leg. It might be your right, wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Paritanasana. Such a mouthful. Okay, so let me keep up, take my breath. All right, so what you want to do is the big toe is slightly more in than the inner heel, and then your heel's like a doorstop, your toes like a doorstop as well. And then you're going to come into your forward fold. So super slow with control. You're going to feel your hamstrings here. Okay. Now I want you to almost feel this hanging sensation, like you're completely draped over your legs. Get comfortable. Start to notice the sensation. And this has a very similar effect that we had when you did crocodile in the beginning. Right? Okay, adjust them yoga pants. And then see if the forearms can lower down. Let the head rest right at the skull. Okay, just to bring some fluidity, you're going to inhale onto fingertips, flat back in, fold forward out, flat back in, fold forward out. Twice more, deep breath in. Last time in and out. Okay, so now I want you to activate the energy from the ground up. So press your feet down and apart as if you can tear that space in between your mat. And you're going to now feel a lot in the body. Okay, so I don't know what you're going to feel because we have different bodies, but what I'm feeling, inner thighs, backs of knees. So I'm going to slightly bend my knees, but still push my feet down. And I want to firm into the glutes as well as much as possible. And then you're going to hold onto your elbows, invite full core, and let, okay. If you can dangle, dangle. If not, then you're going to rest your forearms down onto the ground. And let the brain rest right in the skull. Let the tongue rest right at the roof of the mouth. And then breathe deeply with me. Stay with it. So much sensation arising in the body, but you want to firm the thighs to the bone. And you want to make sure that you're constantly pressing your front foot away from your back foot, actively. Softening. Try not to get into the stories. There's so many stories that can arise from here. Then perhaps maybe if you have your forearms down, you can get a little bit closer. Maybe giving the head more room to fold. Legs are active. You're constantly pressing down and away. I'm feeling so much energy. It's like electricity just moving through my body. And then at this point, you'll hear my breath a little bit more because here now, my focus is using my breath to open up these pathways that have had, been stuck without shifting the energy. Let the head be free. Legs are active. Keep pressing down and away. Bring this energy, lots of electricity in the body. Lots of breath as you shift. Stay with it. 10. 9. 8. Breathe. 7. 6. 5. Work the energy in the legs. Keep pressing. Activate energy from the core. Breath. 3. 2. And 1. Release. Control. Don't whip yourself out of this conversation. Then I'm going to lunge over to the left side, front side of my mat, wherever yours was. Slowly chaturanga. Got to be very delicate with the hips here, the hamstrings. Up dog. Inhale, open up. And then rest onto the shins. Guys, well done if you've, taken it to this point with me. We're going to end off in crocodile. So taking the feet back. And then you're going to open up the legs as wide as you can. Ooh. Woo! Wow. Okay. Maybe don't try forcing. Alrighty, lighty. Let's get in there. And see, there's a little bit more opening that can happen here. Remember, it's towards the end of the practice, so you don't want to force it. Don't we just love construction in our buildings? That's when you just need so much peace. But I actually didn't really hear them themselves moving anymore. Focus on so many sensations. Okay, I'm going to slowly come into Shavasana. Super slowly. And remember, we allow the natural sounds and vibrations to just be part of our experience. It's all part of life. Okay, stretching the legs wide. I don't have a timer, so I don't know how long I'm going to hold the Shavasana, but we're going to try. Feet dangle to the sides. Hands to the sides of the body. Shoulder blades part. And you want to drop into the stillness that you have explored, that was already inside, but you shifted all that energy that was blocking you from feeling and seeing and hearing the silence in your body now. And it's at this point we're going to do 3 rounds once again, like we did in the beginning. Breath in. You can hold the breath as long as you want to, if that feels comfortable. And then the exhalation through the nostrils, not through the mouth. Almost like sound and vibration, and also almost like the sensation that your body can like sigh out of relief of all this energy that has been blocking it from feeling freedom within yourself, from being embodied within yourself, has now been cleared through this practice. And then we shift through another layer, through another practice. So deep breath in. Just whilst you're dropping into your body for Shavasana, I want you to just feel if your whole body could smile. What would that feel like? Just rest and gratitude for the medicine, for your beautiful body and all the cycles it continuously moves through, for showing up for practice, for allowing yourself to feel, for allowing yourself to stay even when it was uncomfortable. And you can know the greater intelligence within you already knows how to give you this full medicine that you've shifted and experienced through practice. So just begin to receive it on a deep level that we don't have to articulate with words or any other form of intelligence outside of ourselves. Stay in your body. Just drop. When you feel yourself wanting to come out, just drop. Drop into your body. Drop until you completely feel like you're floating. And if you're struggling, just breathe right into the back body. Right into the back body, deeply.